What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlaybookGamer.com, and in the last Dynasty video, we finished up Season 3 of our Arizona Dynasty. We went through our off-season shenanigans, from recruiting to position changes, cutting players, so on and so forth. That was a lot of fun, and now we're ready to enter Season 4. And we still got a lot ahead of us. We've won a couple of Pac-10 championships. We want to take that next step to possibly winning a national championship. Maybe we could do that this year. Well, it starts today with our preseason video for Season 4. So let's go ahead and get started with preseason options. Here is our schedule. Always try to do a couple of things in this dynasty in terms of scheduling. One, have an A-plus schedule, and two, pretty much only schedule Power 5 opponents, which is what we got here. Starting off, we're going to take a Ole Miss that's going to come here to Tucson, and then we're going to have a couple of open dates. It's just a really weird schedule set up. But we have Nebraska. We're going to go over there. That should be a lot of fun. I can't tell you the last time I played Nebraska. I saw they were highly ranked. I figured that'd be a fun, maybe do a home and home with them. Now, we have been playing Texas the last 3 seasons. They beat us every time. I'm just ready to move on from that series. I like the idea of doing a home and home with the team and then moving on to somebody else. And that's what we're hopefully going to do with Nebraska and maybe even Oklahoma. And then we're going to get right into conference play with a trip to Oregon State, 14th in the country. Then you see here it's a straight slate of conference games. UCLA, Washington State, at Stanford, at number 17 Cal. Then we got a little bit of a break from the conference, and we're going to have Notre Dame come here. We didn't have a whole lot of options in this particular spot. We had a bunch of FCS schools, but I didn't want to deal with that. I wanted to take on a really good team, and we're going to go up against Notre Dame. Then we're going to round off the rest of our schedule with Washington, then at number 5 USC, and then we're going to end the season with Arizona State. The good news with this schedule is that we don't have any goofy non-conference game at the end that we're forced to play. I'm able to squeeze my other 3 non-conference games before that. So we have 6 home games and 5 road games. I'm really excited about it. Just some new teams we haven't played any of this dynasty. I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun. We've got the SEC, we got the Big 12, and of course in this game, and then we're going to take on the Independent and Notre Dame. Very tough schedule. I think we got 4 ranked games with an A-plus strength of schedule. It should be a whole lot of fun, and I can't wait to play that first game. Now, let's go to redshirt players, and this is the first time we'll get to look at our roster as a whole if you didn't watch the previous video. Here we have the team as a whole, and you look at our top 6 players. We got a 91, 90, 90, 89, 89. We're just slowly getting better and better as a team. Let's go to quarterback. Now, when it comes to redshirting, we're not doing any of that with this group. We got Paul Rhodes. He's our starting quarterback, and we're going to put Chris Burks in for some situational stuff. Give him a package or two. No different than what we done last year. We go to halfback. We got a very simple situation when it comes to redshirting. It's going to be Larson, who's going to get the red shirt. We obviously do not need him this year because we got plenty of good dudes ahead of him. You go to fullback, our big stud freshman recruit, Matt Ellis, the athlete. Really excited to have him. We're going to try to do our best to give him the ball in some unique ways this year and beyond, but we're not going to redshirt him, obviously. You got a wide receiver. We got a bunch of dudes already redshirted with one lone freshman who we are going to redshirt, and that is Dustin Walker. You go to tight end. This is an interesting situation. It actually lets me redshirt both of these guys if I wanted to and just have 2. But I want a little bit of depth because I'm pretty sure we're going to have 1, if not 2 formations that will have a couple of tight ends in there. I'm going to go ahead and take the red shirt off of this true freshman. Winbush, he is a future project for us. We're going to have Smith and Bell do most of the load at tight end. We do not need Winbush as well. I think we're going to be fine, especially with Ellis at fullback. I want to get him ready for the future. Tackle, a very good situation. We got a senior and a sophomore, but we got 2 guys that we can redshirt. McCoy, true freshman, and another true freshman, and Aaron Johnson. Normally, I like to have 4 tackles at all times, but I'm going to go with 3 for now. We're going to have Smith back up both of these guys. And thankfully, we got a ton of guards for backup purposes. If I need to move one of these guys over the tackle, as you will see in the depth chart portion here in a little bit in the video, I got plenty of options here. And as you can see, we don't have to redshirt anybody at guard. We got all of them already redshirted. You go to center, the same thing. Nobody to redshirt here. Let's go to defense. We only got one guy to redshirt, but he's Tony Long. He's been our starter since day one. since he arrived on campus. That's not going to change, so there's nobody to redshirt here. Defensive tackle, this is another similar situation to our tackle situation. We got 3 decent guys here, and we got another sophomore who I don't have to redshirt. We could put him in there. We all know defensive tackles tend to burn out a little bit easily, but I'm going to sprinkle in some odd front formations, as you can see here in a little bit when we look at some other positions. But I think we're going to be fine without him because, again, we're going to sprinkle in some 3-4, maybe some 3-3-5. Speaking of, let's go to outside linebacker. We got a couple of freshmen or young guys we can redshirt. DeMarcus Session and a true freshman, Jeremy Quinn. Very good situation we have here at outside linebacker. A lot of good guys here, just young pups ready to just kind of get their chance. But Vickers, he is the main cog of that unit. Middle linebacker, same situation. We only got one guy we can redshirt as a true freshman. As you can tell, we won't need him this year, so that's what we'll do. Corner, we got 2 really good players, DeLoach and Singleton, and then it's a bit of a drop-off. But our number 3 guy is a true freshman, Harry Pears. We gave him the number 1 jersey number. He's going to be our new slot or nickelback corner. Really excited to have him due to his speed. We actually can do a little bit of dime, but we're not going to have to. But before we talk about that, we got a couple corners that we can redshirt. So we're in a good situation here with corners just in terms of bodies. But the reason why we're going to sprinkle in some 3-3-5 or some 4-2-5 is because of our safety situation. Now, our free safety, we're in really good shape. We got Patrick and Prince, and we got a true freshman, Bryce Thompson. We're going to redshirt him. That's just an ideal situation. We got a senior, a sophomore, and a freshman. This is the reason why we're going to sprinkle in some other things. We are pretty good at strong safety. We got Clace, who's technically the better of the bunch, but Tatum is an impact player. So you better believe we're going to get both of these guys on the field in some capacity. And we're going to look at the depth chart here in a little bit, and I'll show you kind of what I'm going to do there. But we do have a redshirt opportunity for the true freshman, Will McDonald. As you can tell, we will not need him this year. Kicker, we only got 1 kicker. We can't redshirt him. And we only got 1 punter. All right, so we've looked at the red shirts. Let's go over to our roster and look at the depth chart. Not going to be a whole lot different than what we just saw on the red shirt screen. But Rhodes, Burks is going to back him up situationally. You go to halfback, it's going to be long bonds, but we're going to split some carries with Smith as well. I don't know if Tyler's going to get in there much. Unless we could sneak in another impact player status on somebody, we'll just see how the reps go. But for now, we're going to split the carries between these 2 guys because it's obvious these 2 are much better than the rest. Fullback, obvious. Matt Ellis, true freshman. He's our starter there. Wide receiver, this is where I think it gets pretty interesting. So we have another impact player, B.J. Denard, who's like our 4th best receiver just in terms of overall ability. But he's an impact guy. He's also got a really good catch rating at 85. I'm going to put him as our X receiver. He's not very big. He's not the fastest, but he's an impact player. And I tend to do most of my damage with the X receiver on the left. But we're going to do a couple different things with him as well that we're going to show in once we get the games going. But we're going to have a new Z receiver, the guy on the right, and that is Bobby McCoy. We did have Marks last season. Marks actually got him as our 4th guy. We're going to have McCoy be our Z receiver because, 1, McCoy's got better speed, and if I'm not mistaken, they both got the same catch. So I'm just going to go with McCoy for now. But you look here, we can go dime. We can go 4 wide receiver pretty easily with these 4 guys right here. Now, our slot receivers, we got some speed. Of course, Thomas has been our best receiver the last year or so. Having him in the slot, as small as he is, but he's got that speed. You better believe we're going to use that. And we're going to have Marks in there when we go with our 4 wide receiver package or 2. So, again, just a really good situation to be in at wide receiver. We got 4 solid players. You go to tight end. Bale is by far our best tight end. Pretty simple. And Smith is going to bank him up with that true freshman blocking tight end at the 3 spot. Tackle, pretty simple. We got Wacoles. Then you go to left guard, Roman. Then you go to Curley at center. Then you go to Longacre at right guard, who's our best lineman. And then we got right tackle and J.R. Wesley. And just, again, we got good depth everywhere. Our starting 5 is really good. Think about this. 87, 91, 84, 84, 88. Really good. I think we've done a good job recruiting and especially in terms of development. Let's go to defensive lines. Start off with the edge rushers. We got Long, and we got Turner, and we got good backups behind them. Those guys have been starting for the last, 3 seasons, or this is going to be their 3rd season together starting. Defensive tackle, interesting situation. I can have Burton or Wilson. They are literally the same player. One is, both of them are about the same size, same strength. One's got a little bit better awareness. I think one's got better tackling, if I'm not mistaken. Burton's got a little bit better tackle. It's a neither here nor there. I may actually do some formation subs, possibly getting Wilson in there on a couple different things. That way they don't get tired too easily. I don't do it that often, but I'll try not to forget that in our first game. Let's go to linebacker. So Vickers has been our starting left outside linebacker forever and a day, it seems. That's his spot. Middle linebacker, Palmer. We've had Krogstad be our starting middle linebacker for the last 2 or 3 seasons. Palmer is the new starting middle linebacker. He was playing right outside linebacker the last couple of seasons, and we got McCovey behind him. But you look at the other outside linebacker position, it's McCovey. He's just better of the bunch in terms of that position. So we're going to put him there, and we're going to have a really good backup behind him in Lopez. So 84, 87, and 86. Again, our front 7 looks really solid. You go to corner, very simple. It's Deloach and it's Singleton. It doesn't really matter who's on either side. Both are going to be on the field all the time. We're going to have Pears going to be our nickelback. We're going to try to blitz him some. And we're going to have Anderson there as well. I don't know how often he will play. You go to free safety, very simple. Patrick's our starter. Then strong safety, we got to put Tatum at the number 1 spot. I need him on the field at all times just because he's an impact guy. Also, he's faster than Kleiss. Now, his awareness is actually a little bit better than Kleiss. I think Kleiss has just got the better athleticism. He's better strength, a little bit better acceleration and such. But we are going to try to sprinkle in some of that 4-2-5, 3-3-5. I'm going to treat all those defensive formations just as such. Just formations, nothing more, nothing less. Kicker, simple. We got the 1 kicker. Punter, same thing. Kick return, we're going to have Thomas, who's been our number 1 return guy for the last Dynasty, the entire Dynasty, I should say. But we got McCoy behind him, and we got Mark. So 3 wide receivers, all speed. All of them should be able to catch just fine. And hopefully our return game can get better. We have had just a very poor return game our entire Dynasty. Hopefully we can get a little bit better with that going forward. Same with punt return, the same group of guys. You go to kickoff starters. I'm going to put Gray here, a punter, over Boone. I'm fine with that. I think it's kind of interchangeable. You can go over to your kicker ratings. You can go over to, if I can get to it, kick power. Boone's got a little bit better kick power, but Gray's got a little bit better accuracy. I'll take the accuracy over Boone, over the power, only because I don't want to try to kick it out of bounds too often to the sideline, and they get an easy, ball on the 35-yard line. I don't want that to happen. Long snapper, I always like to put backup centers right there, and that is it for depth chart. Let's go to rosters, and let's just look at our captains. Very simple. You go over to awareness. You sort that. It's always seniors with the highest awareness. Starting off, Tatum, Brandon Tatum, the strong safety impact player. He is our defensive captain. And our offensive captain should be Longacre, which it is. All right, let's go over to program standards. And we're in decent shape here. I want that bar down lower. We need to get a few more guys in trouble so I can lower that. We only had, 2 players got in trouble last season. Hopefully we can lower that. I got plenty of points to use if needed. And hopefully they get in trouble early in the season, not at the very end like that happened, season 2. So we got through all of that. Now let's go over to Athlon Sports and look at some things. Let's start off preseason polls. Starting off, Oklahoma. We've had the last 2 bowl games against them. A really good team. It's obvious why they got them as the top team in the country. Just a ton of talent overall. Oklahoma, Michigan, Texas, Miami, USC, so on and so forth. Where are we? We are 12th in the country. It's taken us 4 seasons to get here. For now, we're inching to preseason top 10 status. It just takes some recruiting and some wins and such. I'm really excited to see us get that high right there. Let's go to Heisman Watch. Again, I have no clue if we're going to get anybody on this list this year. It just kind of depends. I'm not going to try to force it if we do, but either way. So cool for a Houston quarterback to be on this list at the very top. He must have had some killer numbers last year, but then you got a Texas quarterback and Colt McCoy. Then you got a BYU quarterback and a wide receiver for Auburn, and that running back for Oklahoma was pretty solid. I remember him from last game in that bowl game. Let's go to preseason All-Americans. We'll select this. Do we have anybody on here? I wouldn't think so, but we can check. Nobody on the first team? What about the second team? No, nobody on the second team. Let's go over to the all-conference. We should have a few guys on here, I would think. Let's look. Do we have anybody? Not a single first-teamer. What about second team? Well, at least they got long bonds on there. That's, you know, that's good to see. Do we got anybody else on here? We got a couple more. We got Deloach, and we got our kicker in Jeff Boone, the true sophomore. So we got a few guys on there. That's okay. Conference outlook, I think they would have us second. USC number 1. As long as they keep stockpiling talent, they'll always have them preseason number 1 in the conference. But they got us second. Then you got Oregon State and Cal, Washington, Stanford, Oregon, UCLA, Washington State, and dead last, our arch rival in Arizona State. Toughest places to play, I'm pretty sure we will never get on this list. We've had a lot of tough home games in this dynasty, and we're not winning enough of those. So as you can tell, we don't have our stadium on there, and I don't know if we ever will. It's not that big of a deal that we don't. Okay, let's talk recruiting. I'm going to do something a little bit different. Now, anybody who watched the last video and read my pinned comment in that off-season video, I talked about how disappointed I was with in-season recruiting last year. We got 5 guys to commit. 4 of them were 4-star, and pretty much every one of them was either a 72 or a 76. The majority of them were 72. It just kind of disappointed. Now, I knew going in the in-season prospects are like the low-end players for their star rating. For example, this big tight end, a 5-star kid, he looks the part, but he may just be like a 78. You just don't know what you're going to get. So what I'm going to do, instead of wasting all my time on getting 4 or 5 players, or at least half of them may not even make the field until like their junior or senior year, and the fact that I'm really struggling trying to get 4-star kids that are not in-state. Everybody knows about my recruiting house rules and such. I'm making it harder on myself because I got the All-American rule. I think it's a cool rule, but I'm not producing enough All-Americans for it to help me out. So with that, on top of my disappointment with preseason, I'm going to get a new regular or in-season house rule. I'm only going to go after 5-star kids and a couple of kids that just need to fill out those extra spots. And I'm only going to go after like 2 guys. And I'm going to keep the rest of my house rules intact. So what I'm going to do is, you see here, we're going to count how many 5-star players are on this list. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and that's it. Only 10 5-star kids. Again, I'm only going to go after 2 of these guys, but I'm going to fill up my 12 slots. So let's look at all these 5-star kids. I don't care where they're at. I don't care what position they play. I'm just going to look and see if they fit what I want to do, and then we'll go from there. Obviously, this tight end looks exceptional. Hopefully, he can catch the ball. He seems very fast. He's humongous. We're going to go ahead and just put a scholarship on him. This right guard, you can't have too many guards. We got 3 coming back next year. We definitely need some guys coming in. And while we're here, as you can see, we got 55 guys coming back. That means we got 15 spots to fill. Another good thing about not going after so many recruits in regular season is you got more fun to be had in the off season. If you're going to get 6 or 7 commits in the regular season, there's just not a whole lot to do in the off season. The off season recruiting is a whole lot of fun. I want to do more of that. And that last recruiting class we had what? I only got 7 commitments. It was just a very small, slow, or quick recruiting class. It just the video itself. So what we're going to do is, I'm definitely going to go after this kid. Halfback out of Louisiana. He looks super fast and whatnot. Do we got plenty of halfbacks? We got 5. I'm going to look at him anyways. Here is a very speedy quarterback out of California, 5-star. Let's go ahead and put one on him. I'm not going to go after this strong safety. We got plenty of those as is. As you can tell, we got 3 coming back, and I'm not going to go switch to a 4-2-5 or a 3-3-5. I'm just kind of using what we have now. But it's obvious we need some help at quarterback. So we're going to skip him. This corner, there's no such thing as too many. We got 6 of them, though. 6'3", 416. I really like what I'm seeing there. Let's go ahead and put one on him. Here's another 5-star halfback. I'll go one and put on him. That's fine. Here's a 5-star wide receiver out of New York, Brian Stillings. Can he catch? We'll find out. And we got an outside linebacker. As you can tell, we got 5 outside linebackers coming back. I'm going to go ahead and put one on him for now. And we got a very small left guard. I'm not going to go after him. And now we're down to the 4-star. So we got 4 spots left. I'm going to use those other 4 spots for pipeline kids that fit what I am looking for. So let's go over to our state first. We have how many 4-star kids? We got 4 of these guys. Here is another quarterback. I don't mind taking a chance on this kid if he can throw. I know some people don't like recruiting quarterbacks in the regular season. It just kind of depends. But I don't want to lose out on a potentially really good quarterback. So I'm going to put one on him for now. Corner, we're kind of good there. This tight end, I'd rather take my chances on that 5-star kid. As you can see, at tight end, we got 3 guys coming back. So tell me we don't need anybody. Here is a center. Let me look at my center situation. We got 3 there. 4-star kid, he's got pretty good squat. That's not bad at 465. I'm going to go ahead and put one on him. Let's go to California and Texas really quick. And what do we really need? Defensive tackle is a big one. So let's look there, and maybe some more offensive linemen. Like, we're going after 1 guard there. We may go after another tackle, maybe. We may need to go after a couple of defensive tackles. I also need to look at some defensive end. Let's just look around here. I'm all about going after the linemen in regular season if we got the extra spots to fill. So let's go over to defensive tackle. That's more important. For California, we got a 4-star. I just need somebody who's huge and strong. So here's 6'5", 297. That's not bad. Here's 430, 640. I like this kid pretty well. And let's go over to Texas. I know when that's a pipeline. These are the only pipelines we have is California and Texas. They don't have much here on defensive tackle front. Let's go find another guard, perhaps. Or maybe no, defensive end. That's right. Let's look at defensive end. Defensive end, 4-star kid, 465, 6'2", 240. I'm going to go ahead and put one on him. I like that. We may have somebody in California that looks pretty similar, but I really like that kid a whole lot. 4-star, 465. That guy looks pretty good. 6'3", 252. And this guy looks pretty good as well. I'm going to go ahead and take it off that Texas kid. I think this kid looks a lot better. So what we're going to do is take it off of him. Let's go back to California. We'll go here, and which one's better? They look exactly the same. This one's a little bit smarter, so we'll put one on him, and I think I'm good with that. So we are down to 0 scholarships. So what we're going to do is go to play week, and we're going to sim this week. It shouldn't take too long. There's nobody hardly playing, and they're going to spread our points out. Now, again, I'm going after a lot of 5-star kids, but I'm only going after like 2 guys total. So this is what I'm going to do. We're going to go over to in-season recruiting. And here we go. Let's just look and see if we got any chance with any of these kids. I got to find a positive pitch first. And even if we don't go after 5-star kids, I still want to only go after like 2 players because I want to do more in the offseason if possible. So here's the defensive end, that 4-star kid. I think that would be a good pickup for us. I'm going to go ahead and put 50 on him. We'll go pick another 5-star or a 5-star to fill that out. So we're going to go 50. When you do 50% or higher, you're pretty much guaranteed to get these kids. But let me just look. And that's it for, let me just check this. No. All right. So let's pick a 5-star. So we got a bunch of these kids. So we got this big tight end. We're dead last, which I kind of expected that, but look at him. He is the perfect tight end prospect. I think it's probably worth putting 50 points on him. He is a future absolute skill stud player. But let's keep going. Halfback, we got bodies here. Yes, I can go after this kid, but we're kind of down the bottom of the poll or the list for him. Dan Cox, outside linebacker, and we got, we can't pull up our depth chart there. Wide receiver, this kid looks incredibly amazing. I'm not gonna lie, he just looks really good. I may just put points on him because do we need, let's check here. Wide receiver, we got 5 coming in. We don't need the halfback. Let's look at this quarterback right here. This halfback, I'm not going to waste my time. We got plenty of bodies. I'm good with that. Corner, we got plenty of bodies as well. Let's look at this quarterback right here. So this is what I was worried about. His accuracy just isn't good enough for me. I need somebody who can really throw the ball, so we're not going to bother with him. But we got a guard, looks pretty good, a 5-star kid. He's strong and such. I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to try my hand, and we're going to put 50 on this kid. And I got to get some studs. We're going to go down here. I probably need to put some points on this kid. I can go 33 across the board. But I'm going to... This kid right here looks amazing. He's super fast. He's got great hands. And it looks like we may have a chance with him. We're already halfway through his list right here. I'm going to put... We're going to do this instead. I'm going to do about 33. We're going to do 33. Let me go down here. And I'm going to go after this defensive end. We know we got a really good chance. We need some bodies there. And he'll probably redshirt that first year. He's out of California. We're going to do 30. I'm going to do 35. And I'm going to do 35. So hopefully all that makes sense. This will be the only time I really go after 5-star out-of-state kids until I can produce an All-American. Somebody had another idea, maybe try to introduce first-team All-Conference players. But then I'm going to have to keep up with all those positions. And we've had plenty of first-team All-Conference players in this dynasty so far. So I'm okay with this simpler rule. Plus, it just makes NC's recruiting a little more impactful. Surely we can get one of these guys. Either Hunter or Stallings. I think we got a good chance of getting Brand just because we got the positive pitch. So hopefully we could get lucky and one of these two guys could be an absolute playmaker for us down the road. When it comes to our playbook, I'm gonna show you that in the next video. I got to work on a couple things. We're going to really focus on players. Let's just put it that way. All right, that is it for this preseason video. Not a whole lot to see here. Just like any other preseason video, but it gets you hyped up. It gets you excited for the upcoming season. Our first game is against Ole Miss. I picked them because I haven't played them in forever. I have no clue if they're any decent or not. It looks like they got the same amount of talent as we do. I have no clue if they got great impact players in the backfield. We're going to find out in the next video, but it should be a lot of fun. Hopefully this is our first step to potentially competing for a national championship. We'll see how it goes. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.